Thank you very much, Bruno. Before starting, I would also like to welcome everyone, and it's great to see so many of you here today for this workshop. I'm going to talk about the orphan drug designation in the European Union. And the outline of this presentation is to give an overview of the designation and criteria in the EU. I will speak about the definition of a distinct medical entity and the significant benefit. I will also go practically through the procedure of designation and also at the time of the review of the criteria at the time of the marketing authorization application. Finally, I will tell a little bit about the experience so far we have with regard to designations and marketing authorizations. So the main characteristics of an orphan designation are that the applications can be made either for treatment, prevention, or diagnosis of a rare disease. The procedure is free of charge, and the designation can be requested at any stage of development. However, it needs to be submitted before the application for marketing authorization is made. The sponsor can be either a company or an individual, and the sponsor needs to be established in the European Union, Iceland, Liechtenstein, or Norway. And as Ani has already explained, it is finally the European Commission decision which gives access to the incentives such as protocol assistance, and the designated products are entered into the community register of orphan medicinal products, and this register is kept by the European Commission. The applications are evaluated by the Committee for Orphan Medicinal Products, the COMP. We have Professor Bruno Sepodes as the current chair. In the COMP, there is also one representative from each member state and 3 patient representatives that are appointed by the European Commission. We also have 3 members appointed by the Commission on the proposal from the agency, and finally there are 2 non-voting members, one from Norway and one from Iceland. The COMP responsibilities are to give opinions on designation. The COMP also advises the Commission on establishment and development of a policy on orphan medicinal products, and they also assist Commission in international liaison and in drawing guidelines. One important thing of the COMP is to contribute to the protocol assistance with regard to the significant benefit. So if you submit questions on the significant benefit in the protocol assistance, it is the COMP who will give its input into these questions. This is how the COMP meeting looks like. As already, I will go through this very briefly, as Agnes already explained the criteria. So we have the prevalence or non-return of investment, the seriousness, and the existence of alternative methods that are authorized. And if there are authorized treatments for that condition, the sponsor needs to fulfill the criteria on significant benefit. And this is a special criteria for Europe. Practically, in the application package, we are looking forward to seeing a cover letter application form. This can be either the European or the common EMA FDA application form. Then we have the scientific part of the application, proof of establishment, and translations of the name of the product and the proposed orphan indication into the official languages of the European Union, plus Icelandic and Norwegian. There is also the bibliography, and if you want, you can authorize someone else to be acting on the behalf of you for the procedure. In that case, you need to have a letter of authorization. This is the most recent web page so I would just like to show where you can see the guidance on how to apply for designation. So if you go to our website, you look at human regulatory, and under there you will have an orphan designation and all the guidance how to apply. This is the same page when we scroll down, and here I would just like to highlight a few very good guidance documents that exist. So First of all, you have all the templates for the 2 application forms. You have a template for the scientific part of the application as well as for the translations. We have there you can find the guideline on the format and content that is currently under revision, as mentioned by Agnes. You will find points to consider on the calculation for the prevalence exercise, and this document actually very practically informs you what is expected for the prevalence calculation. There is also the COMP recommendation paper on elements that are required to support the medical plausibility and the assumption on significant benefit. And finally, to find out whether you need to go for the significant benefit or not, first you have to see whether there are any authorized treatments in the European Union. And in this final document, you can see all the links to the national registries, which you can have a look at in addition to the EMA website to find out actually what products are authorized for your condition. Then I will continue with the medical condition. So the medical condition is defined in the Commission guideline on the format and content of applications. And it says that the medical condition is any deviation or deviations from the normal structure or function of the body as manifested by a characteristic set of signs and symptoms. So what we are typically looking at is a recognized distinct disease or a syndrome. And this is therefore a distinct medical entity. It is a group of patients that share common pathophysiological, histological, and clinical presentation. And it is also a distinct medical entity where it is plausible from the pathogenesis point of the disease and from the and with regard to the pharmacodynamic effect of the product, that it is plausible to develop the product. We do not accept different degrees of severity or stages of a disease as distinct medical entities. Also, it is not generally accepted to come for a subset of patients where you're expecting to find a positive benefit-risk ratio. And this would typically correspond to the therapeutic indication, but we are looking generally a broader indication that would contain all the possible therapeutic indications for that disease. And also in this guideline, finally, there are some special considerations that explain how we look at the subsetting, intersection of 2 conditions, and the need for a particular treatment modality. So the significant benefit is defined as a clinically relevant advantage or a major contribution to patient care. And it is based on assumptions at the time of orphan designation. And as said, the significant benefit should be established over satisfactory methods, which in this context mean authorized products. And it is the COMP that assesses whether or not these assumptions are supported by available data. Later on in the development at the time of marketing authorization, significant benefit is then to be confirmed. And at this later stage, the COMP will then look at the data that actually exist to demonstrate the significant benefit. And the significant benefit expectations are described in the recommendation paper by the COMP, where it is clearly where it is explained what is expected. The designation process in the EU, it's a maximum of 90-day procedure, and there are no clock stops. When you think that you are ready to submit a file, we are looking forward to receive an intent to file letter, and we would also welcome you to a pre-submission meeting, which is usually a teleconference with EMA staff, and where we give our comments in order to improve your package that you are going to submit. At this stage, you will also be appointed one EMA coordinator and one comp coordinator for your procedure, and then you can go on and submit your application. We will then perform a validation of the application to check that all the administrative parts are correctly filled in, and but usually you will have around 10 days to answer the questions, and in the majority of the cases you will still make the same start date even if you would receive a list of questions or a validation letter at this stage. The evaluation, and also after the validation, you will receive a timetable for your procedure, and the first discussion will take place around day 60 in the comp meeting. The majority of the applications will receive a positive opinion already at this stage. However, if there are any concerns with your application, then you will receive a list of questions and you are invited to attend an oral hearing in the following comp meeting. And then we are looking at the, approximately day 89, 90 in the procedure. If you are facing a negative opinion at this stage, you have a possibility to withdraw your application. The positive and negative opinions are then forwarded to the European Commission, who then issues the final decision that gives you the key to the incentives, such as protocol assistance, and Dr. Maris will talk more about the incentives later this afternoon. If we then jump in time to the stage of review of the Orphan criteria at the time of marketing authorization. At the time of submission for marketing authorization application, the sponsor is requested to submit a report on the maintenance of the designation criteria. And you can get guidance from the EMA staff on the submission of this report in the pre-submission meeting for your marketing authorization application. And when you have submitted the report, the comp will re-evaluate the fulfillment of the criteria in parallel to the assessment of the marketing authorization application. And if there are any doubts, you will again be invited to an oral hearing in a similar fashion as when we are talking about the designation. And the opinion by the comp will be if the product should be removed or if it should be maintained in the community register. So the comp will issue its opinion whether the product should go to the market as an orphan or just as a normal product. Then finally, I will tell a little bit about the experience we have so far. So the number of orphan drug designation applications has been increasing since the year 2000 when the regulation came into force. And last year we received approximately 200 applications for designation. And approximately 70% of these got positive opinions. We have currently 85 marketing authorizations granted for 74 different conditions. That was actually up until the end of last year, so in the beginning of this year I think we have a few more. The majority of these products are in the field of oncology, and this year we are going to, well, we are expecting approximately 20 to 25 orphan marketing authorization applications. So in conclusion, orphan designation, it's a centralized procedure in the EU. Applications can be submitted to the EMA and they will be assessed by the comp, and designations will be issued by the Commission. It is a procedure free of charge. The sponsor, however, needs to be established in the EU. The significant benefit criteria, it's exclusive to the European Union, and you would need to provide justifications to support the assumption of the significant benefit, although we are discussing the product at an early stage of development. And in the EU, there are more than 85 orphan medicinal products authorized. Finally, I would like to thank the team, Monica, Agnieszka, Cynthia, Fredrik Stelius, Laura Secundo, and the head of department, Jordi. And if you have any questions after the workshop, you're very welcome to contact me or any of us. Thank you.